1, 2, 3, let's go.
Wednesday afternoon, hoping you will tune into our show. It's hosted by Cuz.
Welcome back to the Alien Spaceship Talk Show podcast. And in case you're just joining us, you're listening to the Alien Spaceship Talk Show podcast with Emmy, Hikins and Trevor.
We're allowed to ever speak on the phone, even hands-free, which is what perhaps many of us do from time to time, because researchers constantly showed that when you're listening on talking to someone in a conversation, like on a phone, rather than just in person, your whole focus is on what that phone call is saying, and it's way away from what you're doing. So there's a real risk. I mean, as I understand the law, obviously we can't touch a mobile phone, but we can speak hands-free. But if there's an accident and it can be shown that you were on the phone and you were careless, then you can still be prosecuted for that. So all in all, it's probably best not to do that. So that's an automatic thing. We can do, whenever we're on autopilot, we can do more than one thing. Perhaps one of the hardest things I think I can remember ever learning, and I taught myself when I was young, to play the drums. Now, anyone who plays the drums knows that you've got 4 limbs and they're all doing something different. So when you start, you think this is just completely impossible. It's just not possible, because you've got, if you're right-handed, right-footed, you've got your right foot on the bass drum pedal, your left foot on the what they call the hi-hat cymbals. That's 2 cymbals clamped together, and you press it up and down or not. You've got your left hand on a snare drum, keeping the basic tempo, often the opposite beats to the bass drum, sometime in keeping with the hi-hat beat. And then your right hand will often be touching regular points, the hi-hat cymbal or a crash cymbal, something like that. So once you're doing the basic drumming process, it's great. And you can do it again without really thinking about it. You may have to think about the drum fills you do, which are a bit different. But the actual drumming, you can do it, and you can sing a song as you do it, as some drummers do. But anyone starting drumming will find it almost impossible to do that. So again, it's an example of when we can multitask. And indeed, playing a guitar, when you learn, your fingers won't go automatically to the chord places, and it's a struggle. When you're experienced, you can sing, you can play along and not think about the guitar, because that's the way it is. So they are good examples of multitasking, but in reality, in truth, it is a myth, because, as I say, the brain won't let us do more than one thing at a time. Right. And the brain is people say, well, where does multitasking come in the brain? How does it do it? And without going into the operation of the brain, that's for another day. It's apparently in the prefrontal cortex, a region at the front of the brain, which then looks at the task and allocates the steps within the brain, which part does which part, and then responds accordingly. So, I mean, that becomes ever more complex, but it still comes to the same conclusion. It won't let us do more than one thing simultaneously, or think one thing simultaneously. Now, what is the point of all this? Well, maybe it's good to have an understanding that we're not able really to multitask, not very easily. And it's not necessarily a good thing that we do, because often, certainly if you're in a work setting or indeed any setting, if you can only really give full focus to one thing. And therefore, if you're trying to juggle, what we really do, researchers say what we're really doing is task switching, not multitasking, but task switching. So we go from one thing to another, and really not.
We're going to take a short break now. We're back shortly. You've been listening to the Alien Spaceship Talk Show with Trevor and Emmy.
The Alien Spaceship Talk Show podcast is looking for sponsors. If you're a company out there looking to spread the word about the products and services you provide, please get in touch with Deepstuff Radio Podcast on info@deepstuffrecords.com, or to use the contact form on our website to contact us, please visit radio.deepstuffrecords.com. Also, if you're looking to get involved on the Alien Spaceship Talk Show podcast, reach out via our Deepstuff Radio Facebook page. Thank you.
Wednesday afternoon. Hoping you will tune into our show. It's hosted by Cuz. The leader of our gang will make the show go with a bang and fund the aim of everything Cuz does. And fund the aim of everything Cuz does.